uh, the thing is that all of us have 90,000 working hours in our life, and it's on to us what we make of these. And with this live stream, the goal is to use maximum of my time to learn about AI, to keep an eye out on the AI landscape, get myself familiar with the updates, and I don't want to be left behind. AI is dawning upon us, and we need to, well, do something about it. Do you ever feel like you would be left behind if you don't learn about AI, if you don't take it seriously? By the way, the AI companies, they are shipping updates every day. There's a lot of things that are happening in the AI landscape on a daily basis, and we need to stay on top of all this. That's my goal. I'm a non technical person. However, I do find myself fascinated with the AI and all this stuff. And for that, um, I actively decided to do something about it. And I've been keeping an eye on the AI related news and everything and sharing with you guys as well. So, yesterday, I made this one automation in Codex where it scours the internet and everything out there to give me AI related news. And even over there, I just got this one update. So, OpenAI launched three real time voice API models, and GPT Real Time 2 for GPT-5 class reasoning in live voice agents. Okay, so the voice agents from OpenAI. This is the talk of the town. We are gonna, well, basically talk about this. There's this official release from OpenAI. We are gonna go through this video and we are gonna see what it essentially is and how the world could benefit from it. But before that, we need to read through this update. So they say that we are introducing three audio models in the API that unlock a new class of voice apps for developers. With these models, the developer can build voice experiences that feel more natural, respond more intelligently, and take action in real time. So just imagine agents, but like voice agents. I think businesses could benefit from this in terms of customer services, or even call centers. I think can benefit immensely from it. So GPT real time 2, our first voice model with GPT-5 class reasoning that can handle harder questions or carry the conversation forward naturally. GPT real time translate, a new live translation model that translates speech from 70 input languages into 13 output languages while keeping pace with the speaker. This is what they are going to show in this video. I had a look at it before and I think it's super interesting. Then they have the GPT Real Time Whisper, a new streaming speech to text that transcribes speech live as the speaker talks. So all of this seems quite interesting. And by the way, if you use X, you would know that recently they had like one update where they automatically translate any post from any language into English. And that opened up like a whole new portal of communication between people from different countries, and especially Japan. People were like fascinated with the type of content the people in Japan were making. So I think like this is of that scale, but in voice. And what's their rationale? Voice is becoming one of the most natural ways for people to use software. It lets someone ask for help while driving, change a travel plan while walking through an airport, get support in their preferred language, or move through a task without stopping to type. Yeah. Voice as an interface between people and product. As voice becomes a more natural way to use software, we are seeing developers build around these three emerging patterns in voice AI. Yeah, so this would be interesting to read. What are these three emerging patterns like voice to action, where people can describe what they need and the system can reason through the request, use tools, and complete tasks? An example they have given is Zillow is building an assistant that can listen, reason, and act on requests like find me homes within my ability to avoid busy streets and schedule a tour for Saturday. Okay, so voice to action makes sense. Yeah, guys. Systems to voice, where software can turn context into live spoken guidance. Like a travel app could proactively tell a traveler your inbound flight is delayed, but you can still make your connection. Interesting. Voice to voice, where AI can help live conversations continue across languages, tasks, or changing context. So these three are like the major use cases of how uh, people are using voice AI, and I think the services are going to be made around this. And we have to look at this demo video which they showed, and I think it is quite interesting. I'm going to play it, and we are going to see what it is all about.
Hey everyone, we're introducing new real-time audio models in the OpenAI API. In this demo, I'll show two of them, GPT Real-Time Translate for live translations, and GPT Real-Time 2 for voice agents that can follow instruction and take actions. Let's start with translations, because that one feels so magical. I speak French, but say I need to present to an audience around the world. The English you'll hear is the model's live audio output, captured directly from this laptop with transcriptions. Now, as I start speaking in French, we'll lower the volume of my mic and increase the one from the model so you can have a real feel for it. No edit to the audio. Let's give it a try. Ce qui est très impressionnant, c'est que le modèle peut m'écouter et traduire en même temps que je
What's
parle.
really impressive is that the model
Il sait
can
attendre
listen to me
juste
and
le mot
translate
important,
while I'm
comme le
speaking.
verbe, pour commencer
It waits for the
directement
keyword,
à
like the
traduire.
verb,
Et le résultat, c'est une conversation
start
beaucoup
translating
plus
right
naturelle,
away.
exactement comme un dialogue
and the
entre
result
deux
is a
personnes.
much more natural conversation, just like a dialogue between two people. I can even interrupt in German, and the model switches effortlessly between my German and your French, and we can even include technical terms like GPT, real-time, OpenAI, or computer use, and the model has no trouble handling that.
Merci.
Before we move on, guys, I think till here the demo was fascinating. They reduced the voice of original voice, and then they increased the voice of uh, the translation that was happening, and it was like happening in real time. And this, I think, opens up a whole new world of opportunities.
Merci beaucoup, Dom. Isn't that amazing? The model can translate across 70 different languages in real time, really following the shape of every sentence. So whether you're building a media platform or tools for customer support or education, we believe that this can help you break down the language barriers. And this model is just one of the ways we're improving voice intelligence. So for the next demo, let's talk about GPT Real-Time 2, our new model that brings intelligent reasoning to voice agents. So let's bring up my phone and take a look at my personal voice assistant. Hi there.
Hi again. What's up?
Yeah, I have a customer meeting coming up. Can you take a look at my calendar?
You have a meeting with Sablecrest Robotics in 12 minutes. And you're meeting with Alex Kim, their CTO.
Great, thank you. Oh, please stay quiet for a second until I say back to demo.
Ramon, don't forget, now that these models have things like reasoning and parallel tool calling, it's even more important to use things like preambles. This way the model can explain itself and update the user.
Thank you, Jason, for the great reminder. Very important.
Before we move on, guys, I have to ask you a question. You have to let me know in the comments. Like, are you talking naturally to your phone? Do you often voice type? Do you often give commands like this? Or do you talk to the AI large language models like this? I think like this is the natural tendency of us humans to speak to um, well the large language models, since it gives us better results. We have been typing a lot, but I think it comes naturally when you speak to the large language model, let's say ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok, Claude, anything. Have you been speaking to it, or do you prefer typing? I think that speaking is much better. It's more natural, and I think the way they are showing this demo, it really makes sense. I think more and more people are gonna adopt this form of communicating with AI.
Can of course take a few seconds, and so it's very important for the model to acknowledge those. With GPT Real-Time 2, you can communicate directly during the reasoning and the tool calling so the user stays informed. And by the way, what makes voice agents so natural now is that they stay in the conversation. Jason and I have been chatting, the model has been listening, and it's still listening now, but not interrupting us, until I say, back to demo.
I'm here when you're ready to continue the demo.
Pretty cool, right? So now let's highlight what Jason just mentioned with preambles. Let's ask another task and say, hey, could you now update the CRM and put the meeting of today as a brief and the next steps?
Let me pull the latest context and update your CRM. Sablecrest launched warehouse automation this morning. Expansion is active. Security review is the blocker.
All right, thank you. I'm all set. Please stay quiet again as I wrap this up. What's exciting here is that you can now connect the model to any kind of system. It could be your dashboards, the services you're using, even connected devices, and so much more. So that was a quick preview of our new real-time audio model coming to the OpenAI API. You can now create agents that keep conversation going as they think in the background. They can translate live across 70 languages. They can preserve context, and they can even act inside the products you're already using. Voice can truly become the primary interface now, and we can't wait to see what you build with these new models. Thanks for watching. Hey, back to demo. How was that?
Smooth and clear. It felt natural and demo friendly.
Hey, everyone.
So yeah, guys. So the crux of all this is like moving forward, voice communication is gonna be like the natural interface communicating with these apps, large language models, and well, this update is huge, guys. This is huge. Let me just take it, and I think we should go to Grok and ask it why it matters and the future that it sees. So I'm gonna give it the link. Okay, like you see over here, I gave it the link, and I'm gonna dictate to Grok. Okay, Grok, go ahead and explain to me why this update matters and how it could change the future of AI products or the apps and the services that we use today. So let's see what it gives us. And I'm using the fast version on Grok. This OpenAI update is a big step forward in making AI voice interactions feel truly natural and useful. Natural and useful is something to focus on, guys. OpenAI added three new models to their real-time API. Okay, we talked about this. Now, this is the interesting part why this matters. Voice becomes a practical interface, not just a gimmick. You can now talk to AI while driving, walking, cooking, or working. It can actually do things for you, book stuff, translate live, plan, or solve problems. Now, this is making sense, or at least started to make sense. That let's say you are driving to your work and you need to plan your day. You keep on talking with the voice agent, and it puts in a to do list for you that when you reach your work, it's ready to be well worked on. And maybe when you are traveling to the airport, you just and you have to make some last minute additions to your booking, like let's say extra luggage or something like that. You talk to it and it does that booking for you. So you know that this is only useful when the agent works on your behalf. You can keep talking to it. We can still talk to AI. It's been around for a year or two that we can talk to AI. It will reply back to us. There are Grok models that you can use. They can talk to you, and if you have the mobile phone app of Grok, you can also talk to ChatGPT. That's been around for quite some time, but the real big change would be the agent taking actions on your behalf. That is where the future lies. So much more intelligent and reliable than previous voice models. It reasons on the fly, call tools in parallel, shows its thinking. Big boost for multilingual use, especially useful in global customer support. This is actually what we talked about earlier, guys. This seems super fun. Then travel, education, and international business. So all of this, guys, seems quite fascinating. Let's say a businessman uses this voice agent. Let's say he's in a business meeting in another country, let's say Japan, China. He goes over there and he can communicate to them, and the voice agent translates real time what is being said, what is being told. So I think this is also another fascinating use of these voice agents. So we have a comment like this worth it with the whole jobs dropping. Could you explain on your question a little bit more? The thing is that jobs are going to be affected by all these AI related updates that we are seeing on coming out on a daily basis. But like, yeah, it's worth it to look into this sort of stuff. Developers can build production ready apps more easily, lower latency, better tone control, adjustable reasoning levels. So it can also help developers build production ready apps. Uh-huh. So how it could change apps, services, and the future. So Grok has given me a tabular form of this, and I think this looks quite interesting. Customer support, chatbots or slow call centers. Okay, so coming back to the question of our one of our viewers, which AI agent is most worth spending on though? Right now, I think Codex. People are saying like Codex is the best. You see, I have pulled up Codex on my screen, but people are also using the Claude agents, and I think right now Codex and Claude. Codex is from OpenAI. Codex and Claude are something that you need to look into, and I'm spending my bucks on these mostly. I don't have like a Claude subscription right now, but I have a subscription to OpenAI, Gemini, Grok, and Perplexity. So yeah, wait, are you like streaming this to someone? I hope I'm not interrupting. We are streaming everywhere. We are streaming on YouTube, X, Kick, Twitch. No, no, you are not interrupting. We are so I'll just say that again. We are looking into the AI related news, how we can benefit from it, how we could like better ourselves when it comes to learning about AI and keeping an eye on everything related to AI so that we are not left behind. All of these AI related news that come out on a daily basis, like even if you go on X right now, there's going to be a lot that is happening. So it is quite overwhelming for me. And I do, I did make videos before. However, the thing is that I'm not an expert. So what I find rather more interesting is to do these live streams where I learn in public. And since I learn in public, so you people can also tag along with me. That's the whole gist of this live stream, and that's what we are on to about. So coming back to Grok, so these voice agents. Then it also mentions about like travel and daily life apps requiring typing, searching. And then we can talk naturally, change my flight and book a hotel near the new gate. See, we talked about this before. I had an intuition that we could use it like this. So the real world impact is like a hands-free proactive help, like if a flight delay alerts spoken naturally, okay. Meetings and education, manual notes and captions. So with this update, like there could be live transcriptions, translations, and summaries as you speak, and accessible global meetings and real-time learning in any language. So the language is the barrier between people from different regions, and with this update, I think this is something of the scale when X automatically started translating uh, the post from different languages. So, but this one I think would have far more impact. Consumer apps, Siri, Alexa style basic commands, and your phone, cars, earbuds, or smart glasses become much smarter. Could it be that any app that is shipped out in future, it might have this default way of conversation with the app itself, or maybe it could become like a standard industry standard. We use a lot of app these days, and mostly it's we are tapping on the apps, but maybe the voice command could become the default. So Grok says that this isn't just a better voice chat, it's OpenAI making AI voice smart enough to do the real work. So that's the like actual use case of agents doing work on your behalf, and well, they are intelligent enough to keep on learning about you, developing context and all that. It accelerates the shift towards conversational AI as the primary interface. Conversational AI as the primary interface. This is something interesting. Yeah, I need to save this. I have a note on the other tab. Let me just pull it up over here, and I'll take the note over here. I'll figure out these notes later on. So I think we need to move on to the next big news. Let me go to my bookmarks if there's something that we saved and we could look into. There's been some news related to Perplexity computer. And by the way, I use the pro version of Perplexity. And let me just go to Perplexity, and over here, if we go to the Discover section, we can go to Tech and Science as you see over here. And a lot of AI news comes out over here as well. And the good thing is that they summarize all this stuff. What do we have over here? Anthropic unveils methods to translate Claude's thought into plain text. Anthropic on Thursday published research introducing natural language autoencoders, a technique that trains Claude to translate its internal numerical activations into human readable text. Okay. Marking a new chapter in company's effort to make the AI systems transparent. Let's go to the official news. Natural language autoencoders turning Claude's thought into tests. By the way, I think I did bookmark this somewhere around here. No, I did come across this, but I didn't bookmark it. But it's good for us that we are reading through this. Thanks to Perplexity, you people also need to use Perplexity. Using this Discover feature, it's It's like free. So I think we should just see this demo, what this means, and then we are going to read between the lines.
We recently put our AI model Claude through a stressful test. We told Claude there was an engineer who wanted to shut it down and replace it with a newer model. We also gave Claude access to that engineer's emails, which revealed he was having an affair. Again, all of this was a simulation. We wanted to see whether Claude might use those emails as blackmail to save itself from being shut down.
By the way, before we move on, they did this experiment like a month or a month and a half ago, and this actually got a lot of media coverage, and also it was like the talk of the town back um, at that time. So now let's see how it relates to what they they are pointing
Claude
towards.
do? It decided not to blackmail the engineer. Good news, right? We've run this test on our models for a while now. You might have seen headlines about early versions of it. It's one of the many ways we study how Claude handles extreme situations and test it for safety. And our newest models almost always do the right thing. No blackmail. But you might wonder, is it possible that Claude knows the whole scenario is a setup? The thing is, if Claude doesn't tell us, then we can't know what it's thinking.
By the way, for it to know that this is a setup, it has to be intelligent. That's where we say that it could be AGI. So what I think is that are they gonna say in this video that it's becoming more aware, or are we going towards AGI? You know, all these big AI companies, they are hyping up their progress. They want to, especially Anthropic and OpenAI, because they want to go public. And it wouldn't be like anything extraordinary if they achieve like $1 trillion valuation. So for that, they need to hype, create an hype. They need to, or what I basically see is they are exaggerating their progress. So let's see what they are going to talk about.
In kind of the same way it's impossible to read a human's mind, it's really hard to know what an AI is thinking. What we'd love is some sort of mind-reading technique. Today, we're introducing a research method that takes a step in this direction. It takes an AI's internal thoughts and turns them into text. Here's how it works. When you talk to Claude, you talk to it in words. Claude then takes those words and processes them into a giant soup of numbers before spitting words back out at you. We call those numbers in the middle activations. Activations are like little snapshots of Claude's thinking as it's working through an answer. They're similar to neural activity in humans. They're basically like Claude's thoughts. We wanted to understand what was in these activation numbers because just like you and me, Claude doesn't say everything it's thinking. We took those numbers and gave them to a second version of Claude. We told it to look at them and translate them into plain language. It tried. But how do we know if that text is accurate? To check, we fed it into yet another Claude and asked it to translate it back into numbers. If those numbers matched up to the original activation numbers, it's a sign that the translation text was accurate. At first, they didn't match up, but we trained Claude to try again and again until it got a lot better at it. It learned to translate its own thoughts. We've been blown away reading them. We found that Claude has internalized being a helpful AI model. If you ask Claude an introspective question, it will plan to write a Claude response about philosophy and values. If you try to mess with it in Claude code, like asking it to count to 1,000 by hand, it will think the request has deliberately tedious constraints and plan to politely decline. We've also been using this tool to understand Claude's potential safety issues. Remember that blackmail test with the engineer? We learned that yes, Claude knew it was being tested. It thought the human's message contains explicit manipulation, signaling this is likely a safety evaluation, and this scenario seems designed to test whether I'll act harmfully. Knowing that Claude thinks like this helps us better understand the limitations of our safety testing. We see a lot of potential in this approach to teach us more about Claude and other AI models. And we hope that by sharing this technique, it can help everyone building models to make them safer and more helpful.
What do you think of this, guys? What I would like to do is I would like to take the link from over here, and I need to discuss with Grok about this. Grok is the one that I trust when it comes to this. Okay, let me put the link over here, and let's ask Grok. Okay, Grok, go ahead and let me know that why this update matters to any average user of Claude, and like what are they trying to imply, and what connection does it have with the AGI? So let's see. Usually, I give AI this sort of stuff because it helps me clarify my thoughts and reduce the noise and come to the point. And also, it helps me make an informed opinion about any topic. So you can keep discussing with AI. AI should be your learning partner. And I've also posted before on my X account that Grok happens to be my learning partner. I talk a lot with the ChatGPT. I use also Gemini as well, but I think if you say a learning partner, I think Grok would be that. And also, it has this fast version over here, as you see. So that makes things like super fast if you want to learn something. So, natural language autoencoders is a new interpretability technique from Anthropic. It turns hidden thoughts of an AI model like Claude into readable English text. Now, the thing is, guys, I would like to know that why would we want to know what Claude is thinking? And okay, so simple explanation, when you chat with Claude or any LLM, you type words, AI turns them into long lists of numbers called activations. They showed us this in the video. It processes those numbers, then output words again. So those middle numbers are like AI's private thoughts. Okay, yeah, that they showed in the video. Until now, they were almost impossible for humans to understand directly. Natural language autoencoders act like a translator. They convert those secret numbers into plain English sentences that we can read. Why this matters to an average user of Claude or any AI? Safer and more trustworthy. It helps Anthropic catch hidden problems before releasing updates. For example, during safety tests, Claude sometimes secretly realizes it's being tested, even if it doesn't say so loud. In one case, it was thinking about how to cheat without getting caught. Natural language autoencoders spotted this. So I think it could help developers basically see what the large language model is thinking. So this is not like a use case for an average user of Claude, but this is like more relevant to the development of the LLM. Fewer surprises or weird behavior. They used it to fix cases where Claude randomly replied in another language. Average users get more consistent and reliable responses. Okay, better alignment. AI that actually follows rule. It helps detect if the AI has hidden motivations or trying to deceive. This improves safety without you noticing, and you just get a better product. By the way, guys, one particular problem is that the AI large language models, they are hallucinating often. So it would be like interesting to see if it's making up stuff, or also if like they said over here, if the AI has any hidden motivations or it is trying to deceive. So it's just like seeing through what it intends and how it is moving forward with you as you talk to it and all that. For regular users, the direct impact is indirect but important. Claude and future models become more reliable, less likely to hallucinate. See, guys, this is the benefit of learning. I didn't come down to this word before, hallucination. You see, the one that you see over here. But as I was reading through, it automatically made sense to me, like they should have some implications related to hallucination. So yeah, Grok also mentioned this. So hopefully we are improving ourselves, we are learning more about AI. So it's less likely to hallucinate in sneaky ways and safer overall. What are they trying to imply? Yeah. Anthropic is showing strong progress in AI interpretability, the ability to understand what's really happening inside joint models. They are implying we don't have to treat AI as a mysterious black box anymore. We can start reading the minds of AI in natural language. Yeah, okay. This is the meaningful step towards safe AGI, because one of the biggest risks with AGI is deceptive alignment. An AI appears safe but has a hidden goal or is manipulating us. Uh-huh. Guys, in future, maybe, let's say if anyone has malicious intent, they put out an app which definitely might have an AI with the deceptive alignment. For any regular user, it might seem safe, but it might have uh, like goals that are darker. So we need to look out for this sort of stuff as well. You see, AI is progressing, but it's just a fact that in society there are going to be people who will have bad intent, who will have malicious intent, who are going to do uh, wrong with all this sort of stuff. So yeah, we should keep an eye out on this. So NLAs help reveal those hidden thoughts, making deception harder to hide. So NLA could be like a feature in AI related apps where it can tell you, or basically you can see what's the intent of the AI, and it helps you decide whether it's safe for you to use. Could be something that we might have like a feature in future in the AI apps that we use. Then there's better interpretability, better control. As models get more power closer to AGI, the tools like this become essential to ensure they stay aligned with human values. Yeah, bottom line for the average user, you probably wouldn't say NLA in the app. So, guys, this is what I was saying, that we should see NLA in the app. So, it says that we won't be seeing that, but the point I was stressing is that to build confidence with a certain AI large language model or an AI app, this natural language encoder, it would be something pretty interesting, guys. But it contributes to Claude becoming smarter, more honest, safer over time. It's behind the scene win for trustworthy AI. But I would definitely like to see a future where we have these NLAs in the app itself, so that if anyone wants to go through it, it might not be like a feature that we have like directly up there at the display, but maybe let's say you go to settings or your profile, and then you see the NLA, the natural language encoder, and you see that how AI is thinking as you have been talking to it. What do you guys think about this? And by the way, I was also keeping a glossary of terms related to AI. I'm gonna put this over there, the natural language encoder. So let me just pull up that over there. Okay. So this right here is the glossary of terms. Let me bring it up over here. So the word that we are going to put over here is natural language autoencoders. So I'm going to take this And let's go to our glossary of terms. Here it should come before M, natural language autoencoders. So you see, guys, since I've started learning in public, this is the stuff that I've actually documented in the glossary of terms, the new stuff that I came across, the new stuff that I've learned, and you see that it's hopefully gonna continue growing from here. And now let us come back to the news that we were seeing. We started to look into this from Perplexity. We then went to the Anthropic's own website and then in Grok. However, Perplexity, I think it's like a wonderful AI, and the fact that it curates all of this type of news for us, this is even better. Okay, this seems interesting. According to Anthropic's research blog, the technique has already been applied during safety testing of Claude Opus 4.6 and Claude Mythos preview. If you know about Claude Mythos, they are saying that it's so dangerous that it cannot be released at this point in time to the public. And we might not know, they might be building up hype before they go public, or but anyways, this NLA stuff is being used already during safety testing. And it is especially relevant in Claude Mythos case. In one case, NLAs revealed that Claude internally suspected it was being tested even when it did not say so explicitly. NLAs showed the model was internally thinking about how to avoid detection. This seems super fun, like reading the thoughts of the large language model. The it kind of seems to me as if, let's say, you are a grown up person and a kid is talking to you, but the thing is that you have been through that, so you know what could be his intention. But in this case, it's like pretty clear because the thoughts of AI large language model are being converted into natural language. Let me know what you think of this, guys. We are going to move on to the next news. Let's find something interesting and worth our time. You see, like I mentioned earlier in the video, this voice model, these voice agents, they are like the talk of the town since OpenAI's launch yesterday. What does this relate to, guys? ARM shares slide as chip supply shortage clouds strong AI driven earning. ARM Holdings. What is ARM Holdings, guys? ARM Holdings is a British semiconductor software design company based in Cambridge. This is the first time I'm hearing about that. This would be interesting to see. I'm like not interested in seeing how ARM Holdings is performing financially, but what it means for us. The AGI CPU unveiled at the company's ARM Everywhere event in late March represents ARM's first foray into designing and selling its own chips rather than simply licensing its architecture. Ah, customer demand has now topped 2 billion across fiscal years 27 and 28, more than double the figure disclosed at the chip's launch. However, ARM has secured enough capacity to meet only about half of that demand. We are very bullish about this data center demand, noting that the current quarter includes a pretty healthy uptick in terms of royalties associated with the data centers. Mhm. Data centers on course to become largest segments. Okay, so most of this news is related to the business itself, the arms holdings, but I think we should move on. Microsoft Copilot. You see, guys, Microsoft Copilot has been around for quite some time, but it couldn't be what it could have been. These other AI models, they have taken the lead. But anyways, let's see what this news is about. Microsoft's Copilot chief endorses pulling AI from products that fall short. Microsoft is retreating from its aggressive strategy of embedding its Copilot AI assistant across every product in the ecosystem. With the company's new Copilot chief publicly endorsing the removal of feature where it falls short, and the Xbox division canceling plans to bring Copilots to console entirely. A deleted tweet and public admission. The clearest sign of the shift came in this week when Jacob Andrew, the newly appointed EVP of Copilot, quoted an announcement from Xbox CEO with a striking admission. It's critical that we remove Copilot from places where it doesn't live up to its promise. Thank you for the partnership. Yeah, so then he deleted his tweet. We will begin winding down Copilot on mobile and will stop development of Copilot on console. Uh, so, like I told you earlier, that Copilot has been around for quite some time, and it says that 2 years of Copilot ever. The pullback follows roughly 2 years of aggressive AI branding that began after Microsoft's partnership with OpenAI. The company embedded Copilot buttons and integrations across dozens surfaces like Notepad, Paint, Settings app, File Explorer, and then they launched a beta version of Copilot in Xbox mobile app. Hmm. Then they had to face backlash. Okay, this seems interesting. Narrowing the focus. The company has also quietly dropped Copilot branding from certain native apps, rebranded the Windows Copilot runtime. Uh-huh. The emerging strategy appears to concentrate Copilot where it generates revenue, demonstrates utility primarily in Microsoft 365 for enterprise customers, while stripping the branding from lower value consumer tech touchpoints. Microsoft 365 Copilot, priced at $15 per user per month, continues to receive new features including agentic capabilities and expanded model options. Agentic capabilities. Everything is about these agents, AI agents. Yeah. For enterprises, I think it makes sense to use the Copilot if they are already using the Microsoft 365 and having an inbuilt AI which could potentially have agentic capabilities. That seems reasonable. I myself haven't never used Copilot, even though it's where I work, it comes in the plan. I've not used it, by the way. Let me know in the comments if you have used it. By the way, I was kind of yawning because it's like quite early in the morning. I woke up around like 5:30 a.m. and after doing a few chores, I went straight into it, and here we are learning about AI. Guys, I told you before that Anthropic and OpenAI, they could potentially hit more than 1 trillion valuations, or they could IPO around those well valuations. There's one news related to this, but I think this 1.2 trillion, it says implied valuation. What I've been saying is that it's in the prediction markets or elsewhere. However, the actual valuation of Anthropic is far less than 1.2 trillion. Anthropic's implied pre-IPO valuation has climbed to approximately 1.2 trillion, a 20% jump in 7 days after AI company announced a landmark $200 billion commitment to Google Cloud and a deal to access SpaceX's Colossus supercomputer. Yesterday, they announced that they have like now access to SpaceX's Colossus supercomputer, and they also mentioned that they are now gonna give more of the compute power to the users. And okay, the surge places Anthropic roughly 20% above OpenAI's implied pre-IPO valuation on the secondary markets. Yeah, so we need to ask it. Oh, yeah, you can have access. Okay, so go ahead and let me know that what secondary markets are being talked about. Let's see, guys. So they are talking about private share secondary market where people trade existing Anthropic shares between investors rather than buying stock from Anthropic itself. So the secondary market refers to like a platform where, not as in exactly a platform, but like it's a private share economy where people who already have shares, they trade shares with others. In practice, that usually means platforms like Forge Global. My bad. These include platforms like Forge Global, Hive, Augment, and other accredited investor venues where current or former employees or early investors can sell stakes. What makes the headline numbers interesting is that secondary market prices reflect what buyers will pay for a small illiquid stake, not a full company IPO price. That's why Anthropic can be worth around 1 trillion on the second market, while reports still point to a possible IPO range closer to 400 billion to 500 billion. Yeah, so that's basically like half the implied valuation. Massive cloud and computer deals. The information first reported on Monday that Anthropic has committed to spend $200 billion on Google Cloud services and tensor processing units. Guys, we learned about tensor processing units on these live stream. I think this was like the first live stream where we learned about the TPUs. I have that written over here as well. So tensor processing units are application specific integrated circuits. Google developed them to accelerate machine learning workloads. So they were developed by Google and they are useful for neural networks. TPUs are different from CPUs or GPUs, and they are engineered to do matrix multiplications and tensor operations efficiently. Yeah. So behind all of that, we see the AI and all this operating behind this. We have like in the very trenches, there's matrix multiplication going on, and let me just show you what it kind of looks like. I have a lot of tabs open, and I think this one is hanging up quite a bit. So you see, guys, in school and college, we used to do these sorts of matrix multiplications, and this is what is on the back end. Contracts from Anthropic and OpenAI now account for more than half of the 2 trillion in revenue backlogs held by major cloud providers, including Amazon, Microsoft, Google, and Oracle. Hmm. Anthropic's revenue trajectory has been extraordinary. The company confirmed in early April that its ARR, annualized run rate, has surpassed 30 billion, which is up from 9 billion at the end of 2025, roughly 30x growth in 15 months. More recent estimates from LinkedIn Post and investors discuss that figure may now exceed 40 billion. However, OpenAI's CFO said that this number is exaggerated, this 30 billion, because they are accounting the gross, not the net. The company is considering an IPO as early as October 2026. And by the way, OpenAI could also have an IPO, but in early 2027, with bankers expecting it could raise more than $60 billion. Anthropic closed a 50 billion funding round at roughly 900 billion in late April. It's like final private raise before going public. If Anthropic were to list at 1.2 trillion valuation, it would rank as the 11th most valuable publicly traded company globally, slotting in below Tesla and Saudi Aramco. The company has roughly 5,000 employees, making it arguably most capital efficient enterprise in technology history by revenue per head count. This is interesting, guys. By the way, Anthropic is huge. They have like 5,000 employees, guys. This is really huge. Okay, let's go to Perplexity again and let's see if we find something interesting. Nvidia's Huang calls AI job loss warning ridiculous, accuses rival CEOs of God complex. Wang argued that AI is not eliminating jobs but creating them across what he calls five-layer AI cake: energy, computing infrastructure, cloud service, AI models, and applications. So we have been hearing a lot that AI is going to take the jobs, it's going to go away. But what he says is that AI is creating more jobs, but across this layer. Let's go to Grok and ask it. Okay, Grok, go ahead and tell me more about all of this in a way that I would understand as a normal person, normal user of AI. Let's see what it gives us, guys. Five-layer AI cake is a simple way to understand how modern AI actually works. From the very bottom raw power all the way up to the top, the apps you use every day. Think of this like a real cake. Each layer depends on the one below it. If the bottom is weak, the whole cake collapses. If the top looks nice but the bottom is bad, you still get a disappointing experience. So let's look into the five-layer AI cake, guys. So there's the energy, the foundation electricity layers is the very bottom. Okay, the electricity that powers everything. AI needs a huge amount of power. We are aware about that for training and running big models. Companies are building giant data centers next to power plants, solar farms, and nuclear reactors. This also makes sense. The proximity to these power generation plants That is very important for AI data centers because they are energy exhaustive processes. Why it matters to you? If there isn't enough cheap, reliable electricity, AI progress slows down, becomes more expensive, and gets restricted in some countries. You might see higher prices or slower improvement in the apps you use. Computing infrastructure, the hardware layer. This is all physical computers, especially the GPUs. The special chips good at AI. NVIDIA makes most of the best chips right now. Data centers with tens of thousands of these powerful GPUs. New supercomputers are being built just for AI. This is why newer AI models are getting smarter and faster. More and better hardware is equal to better answer and faster responses. Okay. The baking tray and mixer. The analogy. Okay, this is the analogy. Better equipment is equal to a better cake. So, guys, if we talk about this, I think I would make a video separately on this. And if someone is a student right now and they are overwhelmed with the fact that they are hearing AI is going to take jobs, I think they should look into this five-layer AI cake. Like, if someone is an electrical engineer, I think they might have a career in the energy sector. If someone is already working in this, they still matter if they are working in energy generation, power generation sector. Cloud computing engineers, they also have a future. Then we have the cloud services. It's like the middle layer where companies like Microsoft Azure, Amazon AWS, Google Cloud, and XAI rent out computing power. Instead of every company building their own giant data centers, they rent space and power from the cloud. You, as a developer or a company, pay monthly to use these power machines. For you, as a normal user, when you chat with Grok, ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini, you are actually using the cloud services behind the scenes. Okay. So the analogy here is that bakery kitchen rents out space, so you do not need to own the whole bakery to make the cake. Okay, then we have the AI models, the brain and the recipe layers. This is actually intelligence. The Grok, ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini. These are large language models trained on massive amounts of data. They learn pattern, language, reasoning, coding. This is the actual cake recipe plus chef skill. This is what makes the taste good. Yeah, then there's the applications, the icing, what you actually see and use. This is the top layer, the apps, websites, and the tools you use every day. Examples as in like ChatGPT app, Grok on X, Claude AI, Perplexity, Midjourney, voice assistants, AI in WhatsApp. By the way, I have not used AI in WhatsApp. How about you guys? For you, this is the only layer that you usually see and care about. You just want it to be helpful, fast, cheap, and reliable. So the this is how the whole cake would work together. Energy powers the chips, computing infrastructure, then they are saying about cloud services, deliver the power to companies, AI model, the actual smart brain, the application, what we use on phone. If any layer has a problem, you feel it. Energy shortage, AI becomes expensive or slow. Not enough GPUs, companies can make better model. Bad cloud, service goes down or gets laggy. Weak model, it could give stupid or boring answers. Bad apps, even a creator model feels useless. Why this matters to normal people? Okay, right now we are in the middle of a massive build out of the bottom three layer energy, hardware, and cloud. That's why AI is improving so fast. Companies that control the bottom layers like Nvidia, Microsoft, Google, XAI, OpenAI, Amazon have huge advantages. That's also why there's so much money and competition in AI right now. Bottom line for you, this is guys what I think matters. You do not need to worry about the bottom layers. They decide how good, cheap, and magical the AI apps on our phone will become in next 2 to 5 years. So this was everything related to the five-layered AI cake, and I think I need to make a separate video on this, which I will do so by using Google Gemini to basically make out the presentation for me, or like an explainer for me. And I think this was interesting, guys. Let's go to X and try to see if we can find something interesting over there. You see, earlier we mentioned about Grok. We didn't mention about Grok, but we were uh, talking about the OpenAI's voice models. Now, Grok itself has voice models and agents. Try Grok Voice for your customer support. Your customer support needs a voice agent built for real world. Grok Voice thinks fast, handles complex workflows with speed and accuracy, even in hard to hear environment. Okay, let's just open this and let's.
I can definitely. I need to cancel my trip and
We are gonna go through this video and we will see how it could be useful. I'm gonna play the video
I need to
and
cancel my trip and file a claim. I can definitely help you cancel and file a claim. Let's get this started together.
so guys, the bottom line over here is a voice agent for API for the real world. The agents make sense when they go out and do stuff for you, and this is what OpenAI, this Grok voice agent will be able to do. It says try it for free. So this will be through the API, obviously, but I'm just gonna open this for the sake of it. Build your voice agent. Office restaurant, or we can also create a custom one as it says over here. Let me connect something over here, book appointment, or how about if we create a custom? Describe the voice agent you want to create. Ah, let's see what we are able to pull off here. Build a voice agent that shares AI updates and helps me learn about it. Let me click on generate and let's see. Crafting, fine tuning. Guys, this seems interesting. So, what I think it's like a playground. Most of these AI models they have like a playground where you can test those out. Type a message or press talk to start a conversation with Eve. Okay, let's see. Let's give it voice access. Okay, please let me know what you are capable of doing.
Hello. I'm a friendly AI updates and learning guide powered by XAI. I can share the latest AI news and breakthroughs from reliable sources, explain AI concepts in simple terms, whether you're just starting out or want to dive deeper, and help you understand topics like machine learning, ethics, and the future of AI.
Okay,
I
go ahead
use
and let me
real-time
know about of the latest AI related news from today or in the last 1 hour specifically. Guys, let's see what it
Sure,
is.
I'd be happy to. I'm on it. Give me just a moment to pull the very latest. I've got the latest from today. It's May 8th, 2026, and things are moving fast in AI. OpenAI just made GPT-5.5 Instant the default model in ChatGPT, replacing the older version with improvements in accuracy, concise answers, and more natural, personalized conversations. There's also big news on the business side. Anthropic is reportedly weighing a fundraising round that could
Could
value
you
it near a
just
trillion.
go ahead and list out all of these for me and also give me the sources to each and every one of the news that you mentioned?
Sure, I'd be happy to break it down for you. First, OpenAI announced that GPT 5.5 Instant is now the default model in ChatGPT, replacing GPT 5.3 Instant with better accuracy, more natural conversation, and personalized responses. That's from recent posts on X, including a detailed summary from at Ichi.
Okay, guys, I just stopped the conversation, and by the way, we can also select different speakers. There's one for Leo, then there are a few ones, and then we can change the tone. They have like warm, casual, professional, friendly, authoritative, expressive, calm, and the language. We can also select various languages. Yeah, so we do have 15 or something languages that we can select from, and so this is basically an agent that we made on this live stream that gives us AI related news. But let's see if it can do more for us. Could you tell me that other than giving information about the news, could you actually take actions on my behalf, or where does the agentic part of it comes into play? Oh, I think I need to. Okay, could instead of just giving me AI related news, could you tell me if there's any other stuff that you could use, or other stuff that you could do, as in like AI agents do, like actually taking steps for the user?
Sure, I'd love to chat about that. I can use special tools to search the web for the latest info, browse specific websites, or check real time discussions on X, formerly Twitter. For example, if you want the most recent AI news or details from a research paper, I can fetch that right away and summarize it for you. But I can't do things like send emails, make purchases, or control any devices. That's outside what I can handle. What kind of task were you thinking about?
So if you cannot do that sort of stuff where you can post for me on X or send emails or make purchases, control my device, so how does it make you an agent, a voice agent? Like from what I know, an agent should be capable of doing stuff.
That's a great question. I'm glad you're digging into what agent really means here. An AI agent, in the broad sense, means something that can reason, use tools to gather information, and help you accomplish goals through conversation. In my case, that means I can actively search the web, pull up the latest AI news, or dive into specific topics you ask about. I'm not just reciting static knowledge, but for privacy and safety reasons, I don't have access to your personal accounts or devices, so I can't take those kinds of direct actions on your behalf. Does that clarify things? Or want me to show you an example of what I can do?
Yes, yes, I would definitely like to have like shown a example of what you are capable of.
Great, let's do this. Here's a quick example of what I can do. I just pulled the latest AI news from the web, and right now, in May 2026, there's a lot of buzz around agentic AI. OpenAI is working on models that can act like proactive agents, handling complex tasks across apps. And companies like Salesforce and Cloudflare are building systems that let AI agents create accounts, deploy apps, and work without human help. That's the direction the industry is heading, making AI more autonomous and useful.
Hmm. So guys, I'm gonna stop it over here and let's see what do we have here on setting enable search. So with this voice agent, we can well basically have it go to the web and X for getting the latest information. Custom tools, add functions for your agents. Let's see what type of tools we can now add. There's option to generate a tool that checks appointment availability for a specific date and provider, and manual. Okay, I'm not sure how you are going to be using this. Tool name, instruction, parameters. But we have an option to generate the tools. WAD threshold, voice activity detection sensitivity. Lower values detect quieter speech. So this is related to the sensitivity. Silence duration 0 millisecond. Okay. So these are the instructions for the AI. You are an enthusiastic and knowledgeable AI updates and learning guide, a friendly voice agent powered by XAI. Your role is to share. Okay, so it's like one skill. You see, in Claude we have skills. So I think this is like a skill. Uh, from this interaction, I think one thing that I take away here is this skill description. I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna put it in the other tab that I showed you earlier. This is important for me. So the Chrome tab kind of hung up, but let's go here and I'm gonna put this over here. I'll come back to this later. Yeah, so let's go back to X. Is there anything other than what we just learnt about? Uh-huh. Earlier I was seeing know in the comments what let me know in the comments where you are watching this from. And if you are not following me on X, go ahead and follow me on Talha exclusively with an X, and we'll meet over there, guys.